So my Devo today is for y'all that serve. And guess what? Because y'all serve, there's some blessings that y'all get. Everybody likes the blessings, right? So I got 8 blessings. Number 1, serving allows us to discover and develop our spiritual gifts. So, spiritual gifts, everybody has different ones, and if we all had the same one, it wouldn't be very fun. If all the Marvel superheroes all had the same gift, it'd be a very boring movie. If they were all the Flash, it would just be a race, right? And everybody would win because everybody's fast. So, just like that would be boring if everybody was a toe or a foot, we wouldn't be a very good body. 1 Corinthians 12 compares the church to human body, that everybody has their own pieces and parts of the body. Just like our bodies are made up of many parts serving specific functions, the church is made up of people with different skills and abilities. And that's pretty awesome. And when you serve, you become more in tune with what part of the body you are. So you just get better and better at it. If you start in children's ministry, taking care of kiddos, you're not very good at the beginning, but you start to develop skills to be better, right? So that's a blessing. Number 2, serving allows us to experience miracles. Has anyone here experienced a miracle at church while serving? Right on, right? Exactly. So in John 2, who was it that got to experience the miracle? If you don't know John 2 is where Jesus turns water into wine at the wedding. And it was the servants that got to experience firsthand the miracle, right? That was a pretty big miracle. Number 3, serving allows us to experience the joy and peace that comes from obedience. Now, obedience is something that God, pegs pretty high, right? And as a parent, I know obedience is like a godsend. You're obedient right now? This is amazing, right? So I understand God's heart on obedience. 1 Peter 4:10 and 11 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others. There's our gifts again. And we're honing those to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms, so that in all things God may be praised through Jesus Christ. Serving is a form of worship, a way to express gratitude for what Jesus has done for us, and to share the love of grace we've been given. So, not only are we serving others and getting a little bit of a tickle inside that we got to serve others, but we're also showing Jesus to those people that we're serving, which is important. And number 4, serving helps us to be more like Jesus. So not only do we get to show Jesus to people, we get to be more like Jesus, because Jesus came and said, I did not come to be served, but to serve. And we shift our focus off of ourselves onto others, which is what Jesus did. That was his whole thing. Came down for others. Number 5, serving surrounds us with other Christians who can help us follow Jesus. Amen. So, everybody in here, you're pretty certain, is born again, serving Jesus, because you're here early on a Sunday morning, serving Jesus, right? Hello. There we go. And it's that whole iron sharpens iron. So we're here in the forge before Sunday service, getting sharpened, getting forged, getting built up, right? Number 6, serving increases our faith as we move out of our comfort zones, because who wants to hang out with kiddos? I do. I'm a youth pastor, right? But we get out of our comfort zones because sometimes you don't want to be in the nursery, or you don't want to be on stage, or whatever you're doing. You don't want to greet people. Some people have a hard time with that, but it gets you out of your comfort zone, which is good. It builds our faith, because we need faith to get out of that comfort zone. Faith that we're going to be okay. We're going to live if we say hi to this new person that we've never met before. honestly, that's something that I struggle with. Believe it or not. You know? Number 7, serving allows us to experience God's presence in new ways. So this is kind of a back room, behind the scenes kind of thing that not everybody that comes to church gets to experience. Not only are we getting some Devo, we're getting some extra worship beforehand, right? And we're a great group of people. And when 2 or more are gathered, God's presence is here. So believe it or not, even if we're not doing church stuff, He's here, and He is blessing this presence. Serving is good for your soul. Study has shown that volunteering is good for the mind and body, that it can ease symptoms of stress and depression. Tapping into our gifts and passions builds self-confidence, energy, and strength. Serving others can also be the best distraction from our own worries, right? Can everybody use some self-confidence, energy, and strength? I know I can, and especially when we're fueling ourselves before Sunday service, when everybody gets in. You know, I kind of like to think of it as like the locker room before the big game, that everyone's like, oh, just acting like a bunch of, animals, apes, gorillas, about to do some violence on the enemy, right? So, thank you, everybody that serves. It is important, and it's amazing. And it's not only for us and pastors that church is easy for them now, because many hands make light work, right? And if they had to do everything, they couldn't be in the nursery with all the kids while they're up here teaching. So it's so important that y'all are here. So, thank you.